So, welcome back to another episode of Tea and Chats with RionFx. I'm glad to be on the screen again and, discuss the charts, analyze the charts, talk about psychology, and as well share insights with each and everyone that is on the call and available to always join in the morning. It's been a very long weekend. I think I started my weekend by like Thursday or so because the market was, kind of like messing with me throughout last week. So I decided to take a break off and just, enjoy the solitude in understanding that I've made a few losses and I can still recover from it instead of just trying to push myself, too much. So as usual, I always want to I always want to ask if we have things we'd like to share from last week, what we feel we might have done wrong and we can do better. But I think this week I want to give myself the opportunity to share my own mistakes from last week. So last week wasn't all that busy for me, but I started out Monday morning with a bit of a problem with my system. So it kind of like spoiled my mood because I usually love to start my Monday mornings with tea and chats. It's how I have pre-programmed my mind to run this year, that every Monday morning I want to start out with tea and chats, but I couldn't do that last week. And it really was frustrating for me. So it kind of like, shook my my emotions. And then going through the week, I had a series of losing streak. And honestly, throughout this weekend, the one thing I tried to do the most was to try and understand what really could have been the cause of why I kept, making funny decisions and choices in the market. Now, not like I didn't have good trades last week. I had a few good trades, but most of them were like, scalp trades, like very key basic intraday trades, which are not really my thing. But then I had to kind of like settle for those kind of trades because the market hasn't really been in areas where I want to take swings from. They haven't really been reversing to my areas of interest or reversing the trend completely, which are like where I like to take my trades from. But overall, the one thing I would say that really affected me last week was my attention to detail, which is so unlike me. I'm usually someone that I want to see prices come back to certain areas before I take a trade, but there was some sort of rush in my ability to take trades, hold trades, or close trades. I wasn't properly balanced in decision making last week. And if you notice, it was one of the reasons why I did my best as much not to call too many trades last week. I think throughout the week I called just 2 or 3 trades, and I think most of it was gold. We're scalping gold, and I think that gold was the like major trade. I remember thinking because I think that was one good trade as well that we took last week. Let me just open up my channel quickly and see. Yeah, so I think we took XAU USD. I think gold was the only trade we took throughout. Then GbpNZD, which took us out on stop loss. Yeah, just 3 trades last week. And gold, 2 of them were successful, but mostly break even, took us out at break even again. So what do I feel I want to do better this week is I want to slow down a bit and stick to the plan. I want to trade my setups the way I trade. So I would want to do intraday trades, but I would rather prefer to do like, more extensive short-term trades where they're like swings, but they are no swings, but something that would require me to go low risk, longer stops and target, more time in profit. So I could take 1 to 3s, but like my one stops would be roughly at least the average 70 pips, 60 pips that I'm used to, rather than the 80 pips, rather than the 12 pips, 20 pips kind of, trades. I'm more comfortable knowing that I am placing my stop losses at higher time frame validation points, because there's a whole lot of liquidity gathering and liquidity clearing on lower time frames that sometimes doesn't just sit well with me, and then that would give me more time to find that patience that I usually would have in just sitting and waiting for my trade setups to actually come, into play before I take any trade. So that's that for me from last week. Psychologically, did it affect me? Yeah, it did, because it kind of like gave me a wave of bad moods last week. But just knowing that you came from a very good week into a bad week is kind of like funny. You start to think, oh, someone, something happening or something against me this week. But in everything, I always want to, thank God. And I believe that everything happens for a reason. It was just another opportunity for me to learn. Okay. So before we go further, I want to say this. I think I've said this prayer with us before, and I want to say it again today. Okay. So, dear Heavenly Father, good morning. As I embark on my Forex journey this morning, I humbly come before you seeking your guidance and blessings. I surrender my plans and decisions into your hands, knowing that you are the ultimate source of wisdom and understanding. Lord, grant me the discernment to make wise choices in the volatile world of Forex trading. Help me to stay focused, disciplined, to analyze the markets with a clear mind, and to manage my risks effectively. Give me the strength to overcome any challenges that may come my way and the resilience to learn from my mistakes. I pray for patience and perseverance as I navigate through the highs and lows of the market. May I approach each trade with a calm and balanced mindset, trusting in your divine guidance. Grant me the ability to control my emotions and avoid impulsive decisions, knowing that consistency and rationality are key to success in this endeavor. Finally, Lord, I ask for your blessings upon my Forex journey. May I experience growth, prosperity, and financial well-being, not only for my own benefit, but also to bless and uplift others. May my actions align with your will, and may I always remember to give thanks for the opportunities and lessons that come my way. And if it doesn't go my way, help me to stay grateful in all circumstances and let all the glory be to your name. Amen. So it's just a prayer I came across, and I did a little bit of edits to it as well. And it's one thing I usually would like to say on a Monday morning as well. So with that said, I would say let's go into today with a calm and very, very, very peaceful mind. I don't know if anybody has something to share. If we don't have anything to share, then we can just go ahead and, start off the analysis session for this morning. Okay, so 4-hour outlook is where I always go to start my day. I always go to the 4 hours, and I am not starting out with. I'm starting out with GbpJpy. Okay, so yeah, GbpJpy tried to play me this morning, but to God be the glory. So I have this outlook on GbpJpy. I think I've shared this outlook with us. I like to wait for higher time frames because I feel like that's where the real money is, honestly. So, like I said, we had where this bearish trend started out from. Yeah, and we have prices change this bullish character at this point. Left some sellers, long-term sellers, position traders still have entries here, probably have taken some profits and all that. So we still have orders just above this area. So liquidity lies above here, orders in this area here. And we could see that this was the level prices got to that we constantly kept trying to sell from. Johanna, you're on the call. I think if you remember, I spoke about this level and I saw this level not holding, probably just for like very, very short sellers into the market. And then that will be it. And then they would have to kind of like sweep them, because it's going to be like a very key psychological point for a lot of traders to want to sell at this point, seeing it as a higher time frame resistance. Okay, and then I was expecting price to break through it. Prices eventually did that, and I'm still expecting prices coming to the 193 region, 194. But I have my orders here. I have my alert at 192,942, just to kind of remind me if eventually I go out of the trade. And here we have prices keeping a bullish structure, moving up to the upside. We have a series of breaks of structures and prices coming back into their originating areas of demand that broke structure constantly. And I just kind of mapped that out on the 4-hourly time frame here. Okay, so we had this break of structure here. This was the originating area that pushed prices to great break of structure. Similarly, I'm expecting to see prices, maintain character to pull back in a bit into where we had this last break of structure. This would be the originating demand for it. But I kind of simplified it into two areas of interest where we have like the demand on your 1-hour time frame, 1-hour time frame, 2-hour time frame. Then we have this demand. Sorry, this is like on 30 minutes, 1 hour. Then we have this like on the 2-hour time frame. So if you go to like your 2-hour time frame, you see this area holding here and this area still being there. And then if you scale to like your lower time frame properly, then you'll be able to spot both of them properly. Like, so we have this area here. This for me is going to be the originating demand. This is where the bulls actually took off from. And then we have this area here as well, where we could actually see that this was also where the next move started out. Okay, and just within here, you see that within this internal structure, bullish structure here, we also had prices kind of like take out structure here. So I want to pick this over this, but nevertheless, I still want to keep two of them intact and see what price action is going to happen in this area. And then it's going to all make valid sense, for me. So at the end of the day is what price action tells me that I'm going to follow. Now, you might be wondering, why am I picking, to sell? I'm going against, the trend, short term though. But I have a divergence here. Okay, I don't know if you guys know what divergence is, but I have prices creating higher highs here and taking out internal lows just below this level here. Okay, and then the one way to identify divergence is to use your oscillators, okay, like your RSI or your stochastic. And if you look at that, you see that while the market is making candlesticks are showing us higher highs, our oscillators are showing us a break in momentum to the downside. So I'm expecting that prices would, lower down here to actually kind of like pull back before we finally have a continuation to the upside. And considering the fact that the market was thoroughly bullish, for like 2 weeks, it has been bullish. So I want to see some sellers come into the market. And not only that is the reason why I'm taking sales again, but I can also see my 3 bearish momentum candles rule, where I want to see like momentum coming into the market, like with at least three strong bearish candles. Okay, and you can see this was the area where prices invalidated this internal structure here. Okay, so now the next good confirmation for me to make more entries would be for prices to take out these lows, to invalidate these lows. And then I'll target this liquidity here from, I think this was Thursday lows. This was the low of last week, and this was the high of last week here. So I expect price to take out the lows of last week before we target the highs of last week to continue bullish. So I want to see how in all calmness this week we can benefit from both the sells and the buys of this pair. Still hoping that this area holds. I still want to see more bears towards the start. This is the start of the London session already. I want to see how that 1 hour candle is going to hold off properly, and then we'll continue the sells downwards. Then I would give an entry, because I won't call a signal now on this, because this is like a risky entry for me as well. Okay, so that's my outlook on GbpJpy. Okay. Then next thing I have is GbpAUD, but I won't look at this now. I want to touch on the XY very quickly. Okay, so this is the XY on the daily. Okay. This chart looks a bit shitty. Has too much breaks. Let me use TVC. I think TVC is more, has a lot of breaks too. Okay, you know what? Let's just use capital.com. Let me view it from the this messed up. Just this. So that's see all these brokers be giving you different candlesticks. Okay, so you know what? Let's just use the one where I made my analysis on. I think that's fair as well. Okay, so for the XY, we see, you know, I think in episode 2 or 3, 2, yeah. I think we analyzed this range. The breakout of this range happened during I think this was this NFP. Yeah, I think this was NFP Friday. Yeah, Friday, February 2nd. This was NFP, where we scalped gold on a live trade. So we expected these prices broke out, then we were in this range for a while, and I expected prices to kind of like sink back down. But prices only came to, you know, induce more buyers to kind of like store some level of liquidity here, and then prices pushed up and then finally came for this level, the 104,500 level, which we spoke about, but we're expecting prices to you know, retest a bit before coming into this level. Yeah. To kind of like, you know, 50% this imbalance. And that was exactly where it came to before it started dropping back in. And prices finally dropped back into areas of originating demand where prices picked up from before, just right before NFP tapped it and started to move back up. So if we were to go by the trend, we know that we are bullish so far. So we're expecting prices to stay bullish. So this was like an internal, you know, liquidity. Yeah, prices swept it, tapped into proper pricing, and then we're going back up. Although we are in this, we just broke out of this trend line that I drew here. Okay, so let me just go back to like 2-hour time frame so we can see it properly. Okay, I'm still of the notion that we should see prices retrace back down a bit, just to kind of like take out this lows that was kept Friday afternoon. I think this was midway the bridge between the London session and New York session. Yeah, anti prices kind of like sweep orders that were left below here and come back in a bit before we go bullish. And now what this is going to do is this is also going to allow me have a certain level of control over my risk. So I don't just want to start jumping in and into any USD pairs per se, but this would kind of allow me put like a cap on my risk where it will help me lower my risk a bit. Even though I know that, yes, this should be bullish, but I also want to still see prices come in lower a bit. So I'm just going to be waiting for the New York session to see how price react towards this price lows here and into this area. And then I'm also going to be watching to see how price closes above this area. Now, if you notice, I'm not just picking any area. I'm picking areas that are valid areas to be invalidated. So if you're looking at this bearish structure here, this was the last valid and actual lower high that was created, and this was the last lower lows. This in turn would give us a change of character of this bearish character into a bullish character. So if prices comes in here, fine, we'll take opportunities to start buying. But if prices doesn't reach in here, I'll be waiting for prices to break above this level. Waiting for prices to break above this level here, then pull back into wherever the demand that caused that break, and then we continue to target these highs again. And if prices don't do that, okay, it's always good to look at market two ways. If prices get here and doesn't start buying and end up, taking out this level here, this area here, then we'll then say that, okay, this is starting to look like what prices are starting to want to change the overall bearish character we have on the higher time frame, which is the 4-hourly time frame here. And then we would start to look for prices to sweep these lows properly. And if it's going to sweep this lows, it's definitely going to fill into this gap here. There's this gap it left here. So pull into this gap, then reverse back to give us a higher time frame, lower high for us to continue selling. So either ways, I'm open-minded and I'm just going to watch to see what the market does. But like I used to say, no confirmation, no entry. I don't know why I always remember this no confirmation, no entry thing when I'm in a drawdown, and I hate it. I need to do better as a person. I can't be running back to Jesus every time after I sin. So yeah, that's that for DXY. So that leads me into GbpUSD. So we had this analysis on GbpUSD. See, this is why I said last week was very annoying, because I should have done better. But GbpUSD kept ranging and ranging and ranging and ranging, and God knows I didn't understand anything that was happening. And I kept asking myself, should I go in? Should I not go in? And this was a trade from weeks back. As early as January, we were always waiting for price to take out this level and then prices to move higher to kind of, break this area here. But then we also called in this trade into this level, and we're supposed to take buys from here. And I felt like it kept giving more entries, or how I wasn't focusing and paying attention to this trade is actually very funny, because this would have given us a whole lot of opportunities and very good scalps, because we can see that for every pullback, there was a whole lot of, impulsive pulls in the market. And I was able to find another entry this morning, but in my head, I was like, oh, I'll give this entry when we're on the call. It seems like prices already moving 10, 15 pips already ahead of us. But this was supposed to be a very good entry for us to take as well. I'm still looking for prices to come deep into this imbalance here, or fair value, whichever one you know it as. Okay. I'm still looking for prices to come into the premium of it at this area here. So we don't know what the market is going to give at this point in time, but I'm looking for prices to come into the premium of this imbalance, and then we would start to look for sellers, or wait to see if prices would rush above to sweep either of these liquidities for a reversal entry. So we have 1, we have 2, and we have 3. This can be placed together. This is a bit higher. Then this is the overall higher time frame liquidity available at the moment on GbpUSD. So I know my my analysis is not how do I say it? How I explain and define my liquidity might not be the way some of us understand liquidity. But for me, I use liquidity from the fundamental knowledge of what liquidity is supposed to be. So liquidity is just money for me. I don't know how to map out all the, all the tush boy, smart money, ICT thing kind of thing, yeah? But wherever there is money, is liquidity. Wherever you feel like, wherever you know or you see, that huge action has happened as a result of prices getting to that place. means there's money there. You know, there's money here, is why prices moved from here. So meaning that if there's money here, at some point in time, everybody who had orders here also have their stop losses below here, meaning that there's money there. This sales happened here and prices stayed selling a whole lot of times in this region, meaning that what? This was the cause and this is the effect. So meaning that people who kept selling in this region all do what? Have their money here. So that's my whole idea and concept of liquidity. So where the money lies, there your liquidity is. So just identify it as people's stop losses are here, 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 meaning that they all have orders. And where you have orders, it means you've put your 2 lot, 3 lot, 10 lot, 0.1 lot, whatever it is, and you're definitely in hopes that prices goes your way. So you have a stop loss. The stop loss is money. That's the only way you literally give money to the market, by closing a trade in loss or by stop loss. So that's the money they need from the market. So that's how I view liquidity generally. So don't mind my markings when you just see XXX and everything there. So for USD, we're still looking to see more buys on the GbpUSD. Like I said, until the DXY finally, pulls back in, for we to start saying, okay, dollar is then strong, and then we can then do what? Start to look for sales. And I'm expecting that by when that will happen, we should see prices coming into the premium of this imbalance here, or sweeping this area of liquidity here. So it all depends on how fast these moves are going to happen. And as always, I'm going to look to my fundamentalist. She's going to laugh now. I can hear her giggling already. Johanna, what does the macro world have for us this week? Do you have an idea? Johanna, are you on the call? Johanna.
Yes, sorry. I thought you heard me.
No.
I was just fixing up my tea. Sorry, what do you say?
Yeah, I was like, what does the macro world have for us this week? So we know how fast this markets are going to move or how slow they are going to move.
Yeah, I'm trying to access the bank report. That's why. But I saw from last week. I didn't really look at the report last week like that because I was just like focusing on other things. But the last thing I remember in terms of like the dollar, though, that we are heading into a stronger dollar. Now I'm trying to see if I can find a report which can indicate a specific level or give me like an insight of where price might reverse. So I haven't really looked at it yet, but since I'm still trying to access this report. But once I do that, I can send it to you. You can also just share it with your community.
Okay then, no problem. Thank you very much.
But at least it's becoming a stronger dollar. That's what I read from ING Bank.
Okay. So I think we can quickly look at Forex Factory. Okay, can quickly look at so you see, I had to even go back to kind of like study the whole concept of liquidity, and this is me downloading books because I always find books to read, whether it makes sense or it doesn't make sense. But yeah, so let's look at forexfactory.com. Okay, so
money get guy. This Apple laptop. I swear.
So this week we have high impact and medium impact news. I think today we have just 2 news which are medium impact. We have Lagarde, one crazy woman, which is the president of the European Central Bank, which is like the whole European Union. They have a bank that, they operate together. So she's the president. She's speaking today. Then we have new home sales from USD, which is supposed to give us like insight on what the housing, the real estate and housing business is looking like in the US at that point in time. And real estate is like, it's one of the major investments and sources of income for a whole lot of Americans. So very important as well. So that will be coming at 4 p.m. West African time, our time. Then on Tuesday, we have durable good orders. We have lots of USD medium impact. Almost at the same time, core durable goods, S&P composites. We have the central bank consumer confidence by 4 p.m. as well. And we have the Richmond manufacturing index as well. So tomorrow is going to be heavy for the dollar once it's 2:30 at the open of the Chicago market till when we get into the New York market as well at 3 p.m. So it's going to be all high impact for the USD. On Wednesday, we have AUD, NZD. So these are all midnight news. This is going to be more focused on the Aussie session, which is like 1 a.m. in the morning, 2 a.m. But we'll usually get the impact more often, either immediately, but most times you get the impact just at the bridge of the Aussie session and the open of the Asian session. That's when like a lot of liquidity comes into the market. Obviously the Asians are, quite high in number, and their bank is quite big, running up over time, and we could see it overtake some banks very soon if they are not careful. Then on Thursday we have the AUD as well. Then we have Euro all day, which is the German prelim CPI. So we have the German CPI on Thursday. This is going to affect things like the DAX, German 30. I think it's called German 40 now. They've added 10 more companies to it. It's called the German 40. Then Canadian GDP, which is their gross domestic profit. Then on Wednesday, we have core PCE, which is core price index. This is going to be, I think, on expenditures as well in the US. Then we have unemployment claims on Friday, the 29th. I think, do they call NFP unemployment claims now, or let's see, because some people call it, let's see, who filed for unemployment insurance for the first time during the past week. Okay. So I think we'll have NFP the following week then, since we had it on the 2nd. So we have unemployment claims, which is very high impact. It's almost as good as your NFP as well, because this kind of leads you, it's like a lead on to what you should be expecting on the NFP numbers. Because if there been whole lot of unemployment claims, you kind of have an idea that, okay, a lot of people were laid off jobs, a lot of people didn't get jobs. So this could kind of lead you into knowing if there are more jobs or if the jobs are like stable, that kind of thing. Then we have the Chicago PMI. We have the G20 meeting on Thursday as well. There's going to be a lot of volatility in the market for this one. You're going to see either the market becomes slow or the market becomes aggressively fast. Then we have FOMC member, Mester is going to be speaking as well in the evening. I wouldn't be expecting a whole lot of volatility, except he says something relating to inflation rates and interest rates. But then you'd see a whole lot of volatility comes into the market. And so far, I think from the last FOMC, they made it clear that the US would not be, tempering or wanting to increase interest rates like the way they did last year. So they would be looking to maintain rates or even go as far as trying to cut down rates this year. So either ways, let's see what this news is going to say as well. Then on Friday, we have CNY, which is the Chinese yuan. So expect your JPY to fluctuate a lot. Your JPY is an AUD JPY, especially for their manufacturing PMI. Let me see. I think they would have almost a balanced PMI or less, because they've been, low rates in lots of productions. And most of their manufacturing is as a result of exports more than domestic use, in fact. Then same Friday, we have ISM manufacturing PMI. We have the revised UMO consumer sentiment as well. Then we have FOMC member Waller is going to be speaking as well. So I think this week is filled with USD news, more of the USD news. So we have to pay close attention and, give details to every USD pair we're going to be trading this week. And like I said, if we go back to the charts, you see we have lots of liquidity that we've been talking about. And most times when I see high impact news, I just smell it's time to take money off the market. It's time to take money off the market. Like, they literally plan this market. It's their market. They know where they keep their orders. They know where everybody is. I think the whole essence of even why there's a release of the COT, which is where they tell you where orders were left in the market, positions open, and all those kind of things, is also there, is so that they have an idea of all these things, and they kind of like use it to keep track of when they want to make their releases, decisions, and everything in the market as well. So that's that for the USD specifically. So I'm just going to, let's put this on our red list. Okay, and GbpJpy is still going aggressively bullish. I hope it doesn't destroy me, but let's watch and see. So yeah, I said I had analysis on GbpAUD. So GbpAUD, I have been waiting, and if you guys remember, we had this analysis, I think last year. We're supposed to take on these buys. We're expecting it to pull back in a bit before we take the buys. Well, prices just went straight into our last area. I think it's on my other trading view. But now prices have kind of come out of this internal structure here. And I'm just waiting to see how prices react at this key level. Here, we have previous resistance, trend line, and also spot on area to create another resistance. So I'm waiting to see if prices would move into this level, retest this level, and hold up for confirmations. Else, we're just going to be breaking out these lows. So big plan is to wait for prices to push into this level, get some price action to hold up at this level. Then we slide down before making a full swing continuation. And that's that for GbpAUD. I hope you guys can see my screen, yeah? So back to what I was saying on GbpAUD. So if you kind of like zoom in a bit into this GbpAUD, you see like some sort of cup and handle formation happening now. I don't know if you guys remember what cup and handle looks like, but a cup and handle usually looks like something like this. So we have the cup here, and then we have the cup. Then we have some sort of consolidation. There's always like some sort of consolidation around the handle. Then sometimes it's like a flag pattern. Sorry guys, I really don't know what's wrong with my mouse. Yeah, this is Nigeria. We slap everything that isn't working properly. So usually we'll have like some sort of flag pattern. Sometimes it can be long, sometimes it can be very short, and then we break to the upside. So this is one thing I like about Forex, is that sometimes when you look at the charts, you can have like your own, you can have like different ideas of what would happen and what will not happen. But at the end of the day, it's just always about the confirmation. So I just want to really see how prices hold up in this level here. If prices does that, then I would place a sell, and most importantly, protect my risk. So I don't think GbpAUD is even something too complex. Just very simple, like most people would say, retail retail analysis for me. Just very simple. And if that plays out, we'll see how. I think we have AUD news on Wednesday midnight, early morning, 1 a.m. So either that pushes prices into this level, or that would push prices from this level. But one of them is definitely going to happen. Okay. GBP card, no. GbpCHF, no. GbpCHF trade is gone already. GbpNZD, no. USDJPY, no. USD card. Does anyone have a pair they want us to look at? Because for me, I'm just stuck on GbpJpy and GbpUSD this week. Really, I really don't want to analyze too much pairs. Tosin, Adebisi, Debbie, Joanna, any pairs you guys want us to look at? Just in case you're talking, don't forget you're muted. You'd have to unmute yourself.
Good morning.
No.
Good morning.
Good morning. Please, can we check Euro AUD?
Euro
AUD.
Euro AUD is then.
Thank you.
Euro. This is one PM
Can we
left.
also check? Sorry,
Yeah.
can we also check NZUSD?
Okay, NZD, that's one sweet. Okay, so let me just put that down. So Euro AUD is one pair I don't like that much. Has cost me a lot in this life. I don't know why. It just keeps manipulating me with all this unnecessary, exactly, all these things to it. It's never just a smooth ride for me and it. But Euro AUD is giving similar touch of what GBP AUD is doing. It's buying aggressively, like this morning. Are you on the buys already? At ABC?
No.
Okay. So if you look at the Euro AUD, it had this move here from this level here. But in order for me to analyze this, I would want to look at Euro AUD on a very higher time frame, honestly. This is just a bit okay, I see. So in order for me to really look at this, I need to calm down here. So we've been bullish ever since we took out this level. We changed character here at this level. We went bullish full time. We had this double bottom here, prices respected double bottom. And then ever since, we've created a series of higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, higher lows. And then we had some sort of internal structure here that left some, like my friend would call it, leak, because prices comes to leak it. Some liquidity at that level here, and it swept it, and then prices finally pushing up. Now it also created some sort of shift at this level here to actually make us, look bearish, but prices only really came back into proper pricing. So if you plot your fib from here to here, see that prices only came back into proper pricing. So I'm very sure if we should go back to, let's say, the daily, for instance, we would see here, as presumed. So we'd see prices sweep into this level here. So I'm just going to map this level out here and move to a lower time frame, and I believe this is going to be a return to order block just after this break of structure here on a higher time frame. This will be a higher time frame break of structure. Okay, and so let's take my Fibonacci out, and then let's look at this on a 4-hourly time frame. Okay, it's just quite deep, but yeah. So here, prices came into this flip. I don't know if you guys can see it and you recognize what a flip is. A flip is that point where sellers turn into buyers. It's also like a demand zone where a resistance breaks almost immediately due to the result of huge influx of buyers in the market. So you see, so this was a support that was going to turn into a resistance, but it flipped immediately. So prices came into this level here, and that was where prices took off from for this buys happening presently. So in other words, we are still very much bullish if you look at it on the daily time frame. And I want to kind of like study the candlesticks right now here. Okay, so even from here, we had this internal bearish structure here. So bearish break of structure, prices pushed up. So we have this as the most recent low that created a break of structure within this bearish internal structure here, and prices took that out and pulled back into this area of originating demand that broke that structure there. So this is going to be our, let's call this the change of character on this time frame here. Prices tapped into it, and prices just continuing what it's doing to the upside here. Okay, this is giving me another insight into GbpAUD. So this is possible next area target of liquidity that Euro AUD is looking for. Yeah, most definitely before it finds this level here, or after it finds this level here. So we still have prices staying bullish within this range. So ADBC, are you following? So
Yes,
we have
I'm here.
prices within, so we have prices still within this range. So anything you're going to be trading is going to be stopped within this range. If you're very good at looking into ranging pairs, you definitely would be able to find an opportunity here, because I think there's like some sort of bearish internal structure here as well. And then we see prices finally moving to the upside and creating a new higher low. With respect to the weeks though, we have a new higher low, and then prices finally coming to sweep this interim high that was here. So with this interim high at this level here, it means that since we have a break of structure, we definitely should have prices pull back in to continue if eventually prices doesn't get here immediately. But if prices does that, then you would want to be picking your RTO, like they call it in ICT, your return to OB here. But I can see that it looks like this block has been mitigated by this candle. So what I want to do is I want to go to like a smaller time frame to like refine again. And when you come to smaller time frame, you then see that this area has been mitigated already. This prices here and prices pull back into it. So we already have like a mitigation already. So we want to come into the unmitigated block, which is here. So this is going to be our unmitigated block. So since prices have broken this structure here, we have the change of character here. First of all, out of this bearish move, the change of character happened here. Then we had prices pull back, okay? And then prices start moving upwards. So now we have a break of structure and a higher low. So we can now start to identify bullish structure. So what we're going to be looking for now is to wait for prices to to get to wherever it wants to get to, but most importantly, to pull back in to return to this OB, order block here, then we can target here as take profit. So if we do that, we want to then simplify this into an easy 1 to 2, 1 to 3. Okay. Risk to reward. So you'll be risking about 32 pips to target 96 pips. That's a 1 to 3 risk to reward. Is that fine?
Yeah, thank you very much.
You're welcome. So you said we should also look at NZD/USD, yeah? Does anyone have anything to add? Please, this call isn't just about me. This call is about everyone. If there's something you see differently, please always share. I'm always open to learn from anybody and anyone. Okay. So NZD/USD. Okay, yeah, true. Let me save this this way. I have one pair that is good for an entry and could save us. So NZD/USD is that this is going to be one down. Okay, nice. Ooh, tricky. So let's go to a higher time frame as well. NZD/USD. Okay, okay. First thing I can notice here is I can't deny the cuteness of this double bottom here. Wow. Square really does respect basic key levels, previous resistance, stunned, support. Okay. And then we have this double bottom at this level. This was a sweet catch. And I believe I have analysis on this on my old chart. Very sweet catch here on NZD/USD. Double bottom neckline. So this is going to be our neckline of this double bottom here, which is another key level. Okay. We have prices coming into that level now. Okay. Actually is a very key level because it had prices serve as supports severally on this level here. Okay. Okay. So I'm going to map this whole area here as the zone for NZD/USD. Okay, and I'm going to keep this stop on this interval only. So we can go to like higher time frame. We'll go to like lower time frame, kind of like see what it looks like on the 4-hourly time frame. So on the 4-hourly time frame, we have, sorry guys, so my mic stand is obstructing me a bit. Just quickly adjust that. Okay, so on the 1-hourly time frame, a 4-hourly time frame rather, we have double bottom, break of, I would identify here, first of all, okay, before here, because this was where we had like the last break of structure before prices started to move back up. So I would want to identify this area here first. Consider this area first. Okay, and then finally have prices break through this area. We've had series of retests around this area, but prices haven't held. But then we also have this previous bearish to bullish reaction happening here as well, which can also be seen as a valid area for prices to sink in before any further buys, as it will be respecting this break of structure or break out of structure that happened here. Okay. So this breaker here from bearish to bullish is also a valid entry. Then we also have an unmitigated area just slightly below here. I have this unmitigated area here as well, which for me would serve as the originating, because it's they didn't only just take out straight, but you can see it clearing other series of internals. So this is where the full momentum came from. So I'll mark this out as my origin. And then this bearish to bullish breakout that happened here. Then if you want to refine, you can refine closely and keep this open here, and then also keep this block here so it's not forgotten. So we know that it can serve a purpose at the end of the day. Then we want to find opportunities here, first of all. So this can be like our first major area of consideration. Okay. So we our first major area of consideration. This is a lower time frame idea of what should happen. You should have like another break of structure, change of character, entry model here, or you have like a pure shift model. Then if this doesn't really hold on, then we'll be expecting prices to sink into this level. Now, another way I kind of try to identify where to like wait for my return to other block is basically I use my RSI. Yeah, I use my RSI. So for my RSI, I'm looking to see which of the blocks would accommodate the overpriced levels of my RSI. Okay, is it going to be this one? Is it going to be this one? If prices get here, would my RSI already be oversold at this point? Would I see some level of exhaustion? Another thing I want to do is, would I find a divergence on my RSI when prices get here or when prices comes into this level? Which of them is going to give me full-fledged confirmation? So I want to get like three things: a divergence, an exhaustion, and then, candlestick price action, maybe a bullish engulfing, a morning star kind of thing. Get. And yeah, that's basically what you can be looking out for. Then you could scale to like a 30 minutes time frame just to do like a bit of readjustment and reassurance. If you're one of those people that you're very, you like to use tight stop loss, I think if you should refine properly, you can refine into this area here. I don't even think that area, this area that looks mitigated. You'd be refining into this level. Why I didn't pick this block is this candlestick had pulled back in already, had mitigated this block here. So I'm just going to pick the one that looks unmitigated and then refine into this area. So this is going to be like your refinement zone for like a very, very close stop loss. And if you're to look further to say like we're going to look for an immediate trade here, this looks like a bearish flag, bearish consolidation is happening here. So we're expecting prices to what accumulates, want it to probably manipulate, expand and then redistribute into this area here. And then we move, sort of thing. That is also one thing that's possible. Another thing that is also possible is we just have a straight sell, straight dump into this area. But nevertheless, we want to see what exactly the market is going to do at this point in time. Do you think we would have a buy into this level before we sell off into this level, considering the fact that the GbpUSD is seeming bullish? We don't know. We just have to watch. But for me, I think I'm more into the sales coming here first before any buys, per se. And don't forget, we're also in some sort of resistance area, like I pointed out on the 4-hourly time frame here. So this is also like a good resistance area, but I'm taking this whole area all the way down here to be the full pricing side. Because if you go to the daily, you see why I sketched it out on the daily. This whole area here is the areas where we'll be looking for buys in. So this is going to be like our discount level, okay? And even if you take your Fibonacci to price in, See? So this is 50% into discount. So meaning that if this area here is the only place within the discount levels, and you can see where my originating block is in proper discount pricing. You can see it is just inside your 61.8 areas, 78.6 areas properly. So if this doesn't hold, then this is most likely where the buys are going to continue from. So that's why there's a need to always, find, your blocks in the most suitable regions for them. Not just because it's another block, it means it's going to hold. You want to find the one with the most, substance in it, kind of thing. So NZD/USD at ABC, is there any question? Is there anything you feel like you're noticing? I didn't hear anything from you. Okay, so anything from any other person? Is there any other peer you'd want us to look at? Sorry, I don't even read this chat to say okay. Joanna, do you have anything to contribute? Tosin, Dominion, Debbie?
No, me personally, like I'm more focused on gold these days. I'm just looking at that, yeah.
I know.
But so far so good. The breakdowns that's been like the way you've like explained them very well though. So taking some notes.
Okay. Thank you. You're focusing on gold. There's this adage where we have in Nigeria. Well, I put an adage or a proverb. I don't even know what it is, but they say, "Now where man they walk, now man they chop." You've gone to find work on gold, so you're steady eating from gold, and you're not giving us signals. That's not fair.
I'm selling from 2039. Oh yeah, go and put your order.
Okay, so let's look at gold. Me, this gold has really done a lot of things to me. It has really, I think it's gold digging me actually, because I'm tired. I saw this buys. The worst part about it was I actually took this buys Friday morning and I went to sleep from here. And prices came. My stop loss was just at 2018. I think 2018, 200. Prices came, took my stop loss, and then went straight up. And I was like, yo, what have I done to deserve such? See, I went through a lot last week. I really did go through a lot.
But gold is not easy, Seth. Gold is not easy. Even those days, you remember when we were trying to take that stupid range? I was ready to buy, it came. Now I took the buy at the end of that Friday, but it was very annoying, so.
Nah, it was very frustrating. Too frustrating. So you say you're taking sales from 2039. So you're expecting prices to go all the way back to 2039.
Yeah, no, so I already wrote in my own group, I already wrote that I'm already in the sell, but I can see that price might come and retest. This manipulation thing, I don't trust gold. This gold will come, test this 2039.10 and probably drop. That's what I'm thinking.
Okay.
Yeah.
Doesn't look bad really. So you're expecting for it to do like a sort of double top at this level,
some double
kind
top.
of thing.
Yeah, this level. Yeah, like because right now, price is currently like I'm looking from the 1 hour, so I'm already in the sell like from 2035, but seeing like because the thing is like I'm looking at the when it comes to gold, like I'm trying to like scalp it during New Year session, right? So I can expect some kind of reversal to come and hit. Like there's the same thing as last week when he came out to take out early sellers, then tap the original. If you go to 15-minute, there is a level to the left where there's orders. I want it to come and take out those orders, like give us some rejection, indicating that sellers are now officially active, and then go back down. So I'm not fully trusting the sells right now. I think like something during New York might happen. We might get that reversal and then go back down.
So for me, I don't know why, but it seems like nobody has been taking note of this area here. And I feel like...
Oh, that area. Yeah, you know that area. I took note of it some weeks ago. I was tired. This thing did not come back, but I see it though. I have it on my... I see what you mean. I'm actually seeing that thing. So it's a bit of a tricky one, if you ask me.
Because all I've been seeing at this level, at 2044, was just pure liquidity for me, honestly. And here, this area here, I feel like price really is targeting this level. And that's why it didn't sell off as hard as people expected it to be. And I know you probably would be looking for sales into, I think you're selling all the way back to 2027, yeah?
I'm actually looking into 2010, 2011. Reason because so basically how I trade gold is like I try to trade levels to levels. So it's a different strategy from my swing trading approach. So what I've noticed is that on all those times when we were selling last week, it came to one level, then the next level was to the next level after that, the third one was to that next level, and now the last sell that we had came to the level around, was it 2014, 2016? So what I'm seeing, especially on the 1 hour, I'm seeing the price might come and test around 2012, 2011. That was my target last week, but it didn't come there. So I closed it around, like, once I saw that retracement around 2017, I closed it out. So what I'm seeing now is for price to come back there and then possibly go back up.
Okay.
To take out that, to take out those lows from last week, because it was a lot of, like, I don't know if you call it liquidity or manipulation or left orders. Yeah, so I want like price to, like, now this week, if we have correct price action and clean chart, that to take out those, all of those lows that was trying to push price down yesterday to around 2012, and then possibly go back up to that level you're speaking of.
Okay, so let's see. Let's map this out to 2012, 2011, and so 2039. Let's see if prices gets here. Prices gets here, I'll make an entry and use a stop just above here and see. So, yep, that is basically my entire breakdown. Like I said, this year I'm not looking at too many charts, just two so far. Thank you ADBC for Euro AUD, because Euro AUD seems like a very good trade to hop on when it eventually reverses. I'm going to keep my eyes on it, and if you're on the signal, if you're on the channel, probably will drop a signal for it as well. So I'll keep my eyes on that. Thank you guys for joining today. Thank you so much for your contributions, your add-ons, as always. And I would always, try to have another call within the week. And let's see what the week holds for us. And as always, manage your risk, assess your risks very well, understand what you're doing. And it's okay to lose. It's okay to fail. It's okay to even be, a dumbhead sometimes and do the wrong things, but just make sure that you're not staying there and doing the wrong things constantly. And until midweek, I'll see you guys again. And this is going to be up on YouTube as always. Please, when it's up on YouTube, always endeavor to share. You never know who might want to, learn a thing or two from this, and might also just, enjoy our conversations and everything from the tea and chat sessions. And we hope for better days where there are going to be more people joining in with us and everyone. Until then, I would see you guys next week, Monday. But always have our Telegram call on Wednesday as well. So until then, see you guys. Thank you so much, and stay calm, stay productive, stay analyzing, make good use of your trades. Bye, guys.